Hello, it is Blasted or Stash It. We are back with new comics. Yes, new comics this week. Only a few. Of course, with me, I'm Huey. I'm your host. We got the Tree Lobster, Joey Pocan, as well as Spectacular Spider Grandpa. Hey, Mike, I promise I will get you on that entry video sometime here. I did get you in the thumbnail, but I got to get you on the entry video, and I promise I will.
I appreciate that.
Okay. as long as you do.
I'm feeling left out.
This is episode 187. We had quite a few episodes in between where we were doing some other coverage, waiting for new comics to come out, some 80s stuff, some 90s stuff, cartoons, TV shows, movies, all that fun stuff. But now we're back to the regular scheduled program of blasting or stashing comic books for the week. And like I said before, there's only a few out, so it's going to be kind of a short show for sure. And that's not the first time.
To talk about.
Yeah, we could do a quick roundabout what we've been doing in the off time. We talked about some TV shows and stuff we've been watching, kind of in between. Hey, Mike, you want to start us off? Any shows or games or stuff you've been playing this week? What have you been doing to keep yourself busy outside of work?
Outside of work, don't judge me. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing.
That's a big topic in my house right now too, because my stepdaughter is home from college, plays that, and so does my 11-year-old play that. That's all Animal Crossing, all the time.
Been playing a lot of Animal Crossing.
Any other TV shows or anything you've been watching?
So since wrestling is so bad now, with the empty arenas, WWE, AEW is good, but I've been watching a lot of old school WCW. Kind of like in the mid-90s, 95, 96, kind of when the NWO first came around. I'm watching a lot of that. Nothing really TV-wise.
How about you, Joe? What have you been watching or consuming in this past week?
Well, I've been losing my mind. Been watching a lot of getting caught up on a bunch of Netflix stuff. Watched that new Stargirl show. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It's cool seeing Luke Wilson being Luke Wilson. He can't be anything else. But the show's legit. Like, it's legitimately good. So I enjoyed that. I watched all the Toxic Avengers. Rewatched all those on Amazon Prime. I've been watching The Great with my wife, talking about Catherine the Great. It's actually pretty funny. Like, not really my kind of thing, but I've laughed at it. It's pretty good. And I've taken up a new hobby of melting metal and trying to make things out of it.
Yes, Mike, your hand's raised ever so politely.
What channel? Where's Stargirl at? What channel?
CW.
It's
Okay.
CW. I found it on. Was it on? I found it on Hulu.
I got it on CW and watched it.
I might have watched it on Hulu. Maybe it was like the day after or something. Yeah, I watched Stargirl episode 1 too. I thought that was actually really good. No, I watched it on the DC Universe app. That's what I did. I watched it on there. So yeah, it actually was pretty good. I'm actually looking forward to watching more of Stargirl. I've been watching Harley Quinn on DC Universe as well. I watched Bloodshot this week. I was sick on Tuesday. Yeah. I watched that, and I'm kind of like,
It was good.
I liked it.
It was okay. We had the obligatory Vin Diesel wife beater tank top scene, at the very first of the movie. He always got to be in his little wife beater tank top. It was okay. Yeah. And then what else? I started watching Solar Opposites today when I got home from work. I watched a little bit of it before dinner, but I'm planning on jumping into that probably tonight.
That was good. It made me laugh, so it's so funny.
I've heard it's really good. I listened to another podcast called Gen X Grown Ups, and they were talking about that and really chatting it up, saying it was really good. So, like, you know what? I'm not a Rick and Morty fan, but I think I might give this a shot and see what it is. I've tried to go back and watch Rick and Morty, but it's hard for me to get into it. The other show I've been watching, actually, my wife's been watching it more, is some show. It's on National Geographic on the Disney Plus app. Something about some people living in Alaska. I'm like, dude, you're not even an outdoor
Oh,
person.
my wife watched that too.
Yeah, my wife is too. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, it's not just my wife then. So, but I like
Yeah,
my wife doesn't like go
it's-
camping in a tent very much. I'm like, why are you watching their skinning and gutting a caribou? Why? You know. But yeah, that's been my week pretty much outside of work.
I've also been getting caught up on a lot of our fellow YouTubers out there with their live shows. Jay Blitz, I've been watching him doing his thing, and finally been able to catch Discovery Day and a lot of his stuff too. So even watch some comic book G spot down there. I always catch him on the Rewind. I would love to come in there on the live show and chat over there.
The Rewind.
Cool.
He's on the
The
Rewind.
rewind. There's a rewind.
Rewind.
That Saturday after we talked about the God dang, I can't think of it. Those comics, Sarah. TKO comics. Yeah, after we watched. That's next day. I got that whole 6 issues of Sarah, and I read all that all over the weekend. It was pretty good. And then I've been reading this too. The first 3 trades for Batman, New 52.
Nice.
The Court of Owls, and then the family, what is it called? Death of the Family. Death of the Family.
That's a good read, actually.
So
Yeah,
I've been reading that. And organizing my comic collection a little bit more. But let's go ahead and jump into the books. But before we jump into the books, we want to make sure that you go over and check us out on Twitter and Facebook, all those social media. We're all over there. We're trying to post stuff on there. You can also go over to... What are you pointing at, Joe?
I'm just saying all over. It's a circle.
I thought you were having a seizure or something. Put your wallet in his mouth. Don't let him swallow his tongue. You can go over to Teespring and pick up a cool t-shirt like the Technical Difficulties or the You've Been Thunderlust. You can also catch us on too. If you don't want to see our ugly mugs, you can listen to the audio over on your favorite podcasting listening device. You can find us anywhere there, where I take the audio from this and move it over there. So definitely appreciate anybody just coming by and watching us live or in the Rewind as well. So
like the comic book G spot.
Let the comic book G spot. You know,
G spot.
You have nowhere to complain anymore because your wife's gonna know. You know where the G spot is, and she's not gonna give up that excuse anymore, Mike.
Hey, you're missing something on that T-shirt.
Oh, I know. I see. I was going to cut you out and tape you on here. I forgot about that. I was going to do that. Now I will do that for the next episode.
There's a couple of shows, boy, and it's like you were never here. I tell you, boy,
he never existed. It's like we're the CIA or something. We just totally erased him. Thinking of CIA, I love the CIA. Don't come after me, even though you've been monitoring my emails probably for a long time.
Do they have a reason to?
They might. I don't know.
What are you doing, bud?
G-Spot says you guys are entertaining. And tons of little emojis, laugh out loud, crying emojis. Mike, why don't you get us started on a book? That's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about comics. So why don't you talk about a book?
I am going to talk about a half a book, not even a quarter of a book. One that you guys did not read.
Well, I have it.
Oh, you have it?
I have it. I tried to read it as well. So go ahead. If we're talking about the same book.
I don't think we are.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
It's called It Eats What Feeds It.
Oh.
It's an ash can from Scout Comics. And I got it because the cover intrigued me. It was kind of creepy. And the title, it's about 4 pages long. It opens up in Louisiana, where a young dude, he's taking a job as a handyman at a old mansion, and he goes in there and he introduces himself, blah blah blah, and there's a woman that lives there all alone, and that's her on the front right there. As you can see, she's young, but she's growing sicker and sicker by the day. Soon she'll be bedridden. And I'm kind of intrigued by that. And the kid asks if he would cook for her. And she goes, no, I don't want you to. I prefer to do all the cooking. and she's kind of giving him a tour of the place, and he walks into, like, I guess the kitchen, and there's cut up animals all over the place and blood everywhere. And that's where it kind of ends, but it still got me a little intrigued. I'm going to go ahead and stash this 4 pages of goodness. But
sound like it's
I
a
don't
book
know
for.
when the actual issue. Nice. Can I see his book at full screen, please?
Oh, well, we can see your book at full screen. Everybody prepare for Mike's full screen viewing, okay? Here we go. There we go.
Boom! There it is, full screen, folks. You ask, thou shalt receive.
Like I said, this is just the ash can. I don't know when the actual book comes out. So.
Watch that language, Mike.
Jeez.
What?
Watch that language.
The environment, bro.
What did I say?
Your ash can. I mean, geez, God, man. Joe, do you want to go on to nobody else has read that ash can? Joe, do you want to talk about a book?
Yeah. Let's talk about Unkillables, right? I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this entire story. I thought the whole tree lobster thing was kind of gimmicky at first as they were going through the stories, but this summed it up, and it actually made you kind of go, oh, okay, that was really nice, the way they ended it. If you don't know, the world is filled with zombies. Most of the superheroes have been infected. They're all zombies too, more especially Wonder Woman at this point, who is the antagonist in this story. Bunch of kids locked up in a school. Villains teach them how to be gangster. They got to leave the school because it's being overrun. Some of our favorite villains die in this. Cheetah, Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy was actually kind of sad. Him and the Creeper became best friends, and they were Tree Lobster, which is an ongoing gag in this one. I loved it. I thought it was fun. And the surprise of Mary Marvel being in it, who was there the entire time, just surprising, and battling Wonder Woman. I thought that was really good. And then escaping to Gotham, where Poison Ivy has kind of set up like a little secret garden there with other superheroes there. So we have potential for a continue-on story, which I hope they don't do after I think about it. This was a great storyline. You ended it well. Just let it go.
It's not over, is it?
Yeah, this was the last issue of this run, I thought. I could be wrong, but I thought it was, I thought it was 5 and 5.
No, not 5. This is 3.
Yeah, is it 3? Yeah, it is. So there's 2 more issues coming. Okay, I stand corrected. Really? I thought they ended it well. They should have just ended it here. But apparently we're going to get more. So let's see where that takes us. But still, this was a finishing story for me. I thought it was good. I don't know what they're going to do next with it. It seemed pretty tight-lipped, but we'll see what happens. Either way, it was a good read, all 3 issues. I recommend this one too. I thought it was okay to stash.
CLZ says they only have 3 issues in the app, not 5. So I think this is the last issue.
I thought it was. It ended like something would end. I don't know.
It might be. I mean, it did end,
with the rock lobster.
Rock lobster. Tree lobster.
I know. I say rock lobster for B-52s.
You say that, we're going to get copyright strike again.
Yeah, I know. No singing, Mike. My only beef from this book, and I've had it from the beginning, is the art. I cannot stand the art. It is so bad. Like I said, I have no place to talk because I can't even draw this good. I get that. But to me, look at Wonder Woman's face right there. That's just awful. It is so bad. And I hate
pretty much
the art.
given up on DC artists at this point, and I'm just focusing on the story.
I mean, you have a lot of sacrifices, like Joe said. A lot of the villains saying, making or stepping up to protect the kids, to be the good guys in this particular story, showing the kids what it means to be a hero, even though you're a villain. That I like that story of it, but again, the art was just awful, and the art is a blast. The story itself is a stash. I would read more of it, but I really kind of hope this is the end, because I don't want to move forward from here with it. So I got both covers. I got the Suicide Squad cover and the Deathstroke cover, or Deadshot. All right, Mike. What do you think of Unkillables #3?
I loved it. It's been a while, and I jumped. This is the first book I read, and it was full of action, lots of deaths, a lot of people die. Yeah.
A lot of heads being ripped off.
Cheetah's throat is crushed. Cheetah punches through what's his name's head. I can't think now.
Is it Mirror Man? I think it's Mirror Man.
Mirror Master punches right through her head. But like Joe said, Cheetah dies. Solomon Grundy dies. Creeper dies. Deathstroke dies. Everybody dies. Mary Marvel was a surprise. I thought
a surprise.
Yeah, so this is good stuff. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And
I really did like the kind of the friendship between the annoying Creeper and the bland Solomon Grundy. Like, I thought that was it was like I don't know what you would call it. It was like having a comedian and a straight man. What do you call that situation? Like an Abbott Costello type situation. Mm-hmm. I thought that was funny through the series.
Okay, I'll talk about a book. I think, Mike, you said you only read Joe, you said you read 2, and Mike, you read 4, right? Yeah. So I'll talk about this book. Nobody else read it. I didn't read book #1. I know I have it, but I just didn't read it. And I thought, okay, this is Tale 2. And so I thought, okay, I'll go to read Tale 2. This is the Storyteller's Ghosts. This is a Jim Henson book. So in this book, it reminds me of, I think it was in Fraggle Rock, there was the real life old man with the dog that was his best friend that talked. I'm not sure if that's the same 2 characters are in here, but it's an old man talking to his dog. His dog can speak English, and his dog says, I want a treat. And then the old guy's like, let me tell you a story. And, there's a whole reason behind this.
Too, right?
Yeah. And so that's why I'm wondering if it's the same character.
So real quick, it's not the same guy, but it is the same dog, because in the fairy tale version of Jim Henson on HBO, when they had the series, it was the same dog there. The dog is a recurring theme in the Storyteller mythos.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to.
I remember that.
That's what it is. So he tells a story of, I think, I don't remember if they're Asian or Indian, but essentially this is this girl. She loves another girl, but the other girl does not reciprocate that love. They're like friends, so the girl she loves ended up liking somebody else, and so she finds this black magic, thinking, oh well, there's this love potion in there that'll make her fall in love with me and leave this other girl. So she decides to roll with this black magic, so it looks like they're Asian, and she's falling the direction. It's time about she needs a black ribbon, and she doesn't have that. She uses it's like ash or something around her neck, instead of the black ribbon. Oh my God, my kids are going nuts. They're going nuts over here. They're screaming. Sorry.
Feels like a horror
if you
movie
put them through the wall one time, they'll stop screaming.
Yeah, I know, but man. So she goes to this potion, but the book is telling her she's being jealous and greedy, and so therefore we're not going to give you what you want. We're going to make something else. We're going to make her head float above her body like that and live that way for the rest of her life. And now she floats around. She's scaring all the people she knows. They're like, oh, you're a monster. Get away from me. Get away from me. And, the moral of the story is essentially don't be greedy. Don't try to go with something that's outside of what you're given. But my moral to this story, I have a separate moral to this story that I read. Something totally opposite. People who spend $4 on a comic book have $4 less in their retirement account. So it's a blast.
I was so scared that you were going to say something so politically correct.
So what?
Politically incorrect.
No. No. Yeah, this is the last one I'll be getting of this for sure. Yeah, the story. It's one plus. It was a quick read. I read it really quick and it was done and over with. I'm like, okay, good.
First one was like that too. Yeah.
So I'm glad it wasn't very dialogue driven. I could just get through it and be done with this. But this is a blast for me for sure.
Dog. All it wanted was a treat, and he blasted his book. You're a horrible person.
I did. I'm going to hell. Moral to the story. Mike, how about you? You want to talk about another book?
Not really, but
I know.
But I'm here.
But we do appreciate you coming on.
What do I want to talk about? Let's talk about ludicrates or lunatics or whatever the fuck this book is about.
You're right on ahead.
So you open the book and there's this big fat bearded guy who looks like Santa Claus covered in blood. His penis is covered in blood and they have to show it. And apparently this guy is late for a wedding that Kermit the Frog is sitting in there. I don't fucking know. I stopped reading. Blast.
Good review.
I'm actually right there with Mike on the whole thing. I might have read a little bit further past the wedding, but this book is actually ludicrous. It's just like I have no idea, no desire to finish move forward. And maybe it's a lot smarter book than what I'm realizing. Maybe that's the ludicrats and the name behind it and what is trying to drive with the storytelling of it. But it's just, is
there a story or is it just like doing a bunch of things? I'm confused.
No, there's a story. It's so the big bearded guy, like Mike was saying, he's going to a wedding. And her name is Hades. I'm not sure if it's Hades, the ruler of hell. I don't know if that's where they're going from or that's just her name. There's no back. It might have been further in the story too, but and the wedding they're going to, the rich guy is getting married to one of his family members, and they're saying that he's not ludicrous enough, and he says the big fat guy says he's boring. He'll never change. He needs to kill him, and that's what he does. I now pronounce you dead, and wife ends up killing the groom. And it was just something
like ludicrous, like the rapper, or are we talking like ludicrous, like
this is defying a ludicrous institution of matrimony, also murder. That's the subplot.
I have no idea what that means. It sounds like a word salad to me.
There's a whole bunch of. It's just freaking weird. The first page of it was crazy enough. Well, what the hell is this? Here's look at that thing there. What the hell is that?
Make it big so everybody can see.
Make it big. Well,
yeah. Usually show something. Make it big.
Usually, I just make it big for one person. That there. It's just absolute crazy art. And like I said, maybe it's a lot smarter than what I'm thinking it is. And I just couldn't get through it. What's that?
I'm going to say no.
Here's a whole bunch of squids with hypodermic needles as arms, and it's just ludicrous. Really, it's a blast. I'm not picking up.
Like you took some bad acid and started fucking reading a book.
So is it like that 70s kind of animation thing? There's a thing on Netflix that's doing something similar to it, where it's kind of like everything's kind of just morphed and out of perspective, and there's a lot of narration, or is there a lot of dialogue? What's going on in this? I'm intrigued.
There's quite a bit of dialogue to the story.
Really?
Like I said, maybe I need to try to read it again, but no.
I tried for a second time, and I couldn't get past the bloody penis.
So yeah, it's definitely a blast for me. You must have got. Is that cover A or cover B? Did you pick up, Mike? Cover B, looks like.
Cover. Who cares?
Okay.
Cover whatever the fuck I got.
Oh, I forgot that I needed to do this. Dang it! What is it?
What?
Here, it's this.
Destroyed.
Explosion.
I'll talk about another book nobody else read, and it's basically Tarzan or who was the other female Tarzan? It was
Jane?
No, not Jane. Not Jane. She's just like Tarzan, but she's a female living in the jungle. Isn't Sheena? Sheena.
The Jungle Girl.
Yeah. So
Sheena, yeah.
And this is what pretty much this is here. This is Kyra, alien jungle girl. So it's the same
jungle girl.
Alien jungle girl. It's the same story as Tarzan. You know, here she's just living in a jungle. She's getting thinks she's going to get attacked, but that's her friend. It's like they're like this group of gorillas, and essentially that's her family. Her parents died on this alien world. This gorilla family has raised her as one of their own, but also the grandfather actually knows where she came from, knows more about her family history. And when she turned 18, I think that's the age they're talking here, when she becomes a woman, he's starting to give her that information on where her family comes from, so she can maybe leave to go be with maybe more of her kind. The art is okay, but it's definitely very simple design. It's 4-panel setup per page. Boom, 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 boom.
Let's go back to my room so we could do it all night, and I could make it feel right.
Boom, boom,
what the hell's
go back to it? Yes, I remember that song.
I don't know. Now they have these big bugs. They're called moot bugs. But they say Mort when they're screaming and yelling. When they're attacking, they don't say moot. They yell Mort, 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 Mort. I don't know why they yell Mort instead of moot. Yep. Telephone. Yep. So that's just it. She knows that she's not part of this family. She knows she's not gorilla. It's not like it's what was the name of that Steve Martin movie where he was raised by the black family?
The Jerk.
So it's not like she thinks she's this gorilla thing. She knows she's not like them. It's not like she goes to the city and don't worry, she'll be able to send more money back because she's got a blowjob. Nothing like that.
What?
From The Jerk. You don't remember that line from The Jerk? He writes home to his family.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about he'll be able to send more money next week because his girlfriend promised him a blowjob.
Yeah.
It's not like that. There's no blowjobs at all in there. But so it's Tarzan on an alien planet. Or Sheena on an alien planet. It's by Scout Comics, but I'm not picking up issue 2. So we move on to the next. Joe, talk about your second book and only other book you got this week.
Well, read my second and last book. Did you all read it?
I read it, yeah.
Can we save it till last? Is that okay?
Oh, I guess so. Mike, you want to talk about another book? Or do you got any more?
The only other one I read, and I wasn't reading before this bullshit happened, is Batman and the Outsiders. So I didn't know, what was going on. This is the end of a story. Batman and his outsiders are going after Ra's al Ghul for whatever reason.
Because he's a bad guy.
Because he's the bad guy. He's got
bad guy.
Is he a bad guy, Joe? I always argue. Is he a bad guy?
Someone named Caliber died. I don't know who that character is. Like I said Ra's al Ghul's got an alien weapon. I don't know. I don't want to blast it because I didn't read the rest of the story. So
You do what you want.
it's a throwaway book.
Yeah. Do you think you would like a little bit? Do you think you would like a little bit more if you had a little more context of going into that particular book?
Probably.
Yeah,
The characters seem cool. Katana's on the team. I love Katana. She's in this one. She's bitching about her dead husband and her sword. Fucking. But yeah, it is what it is. Neutral, soft blast.
Soft blast. Like that's a thing.
We used to talk about that. We used to do a soft stash or a soft blast. Sounds very neat. Maybe needs a Viagra or something, but I don't know. My last book before, I think probably my stash of the week. Not this book, the next book. But I'm not. When it comes to Star Wars, I don't consume like Star Wars as in like in a book or comic book. Usually, mainly it's just the movies. Or The Mandalorian and stuff like that. I don't watch like Clone Wars, the TV show, although I've heard great things about Clone Wars, the animated series. Yeah, people say it's really good. But this is Star Wars Adventures, the Clone Wars Battle Tales. So I picked this because it was number one. I was pretty short on books this week, so I grabbed this guy to read. This art in here, like if you read TMNT Adventures or Batman Adventures, it's all that same kind of very cartoony and story, like that. Very, very much, young youth. I think this is like TVY or like TVY. This is made by Disney, of course. It doesn't say what it is. Probably like a Y youth book. So it's basically that same thing. Very cartoony art. The whole story is they're trying to find Count Dooku. So this is Obi-Wan as well as Darth Vader before he's Darth Vader. What's his name?
Anakin
Skywalker. So they're trying to find Dooku because they're planning on attacking the Senate. Of course, what they always do, and it seemed like every single book. So it was fun. It was a fun read. Now it's something I'd pick up issue 2 on. Probably not. There's only 5 issues in this run, so it's a little mini series. It might be something I would pick up maybe like in a dollar bin, like later on. Okay, you know what? I got issue 1. I kind of want to figure out what's going on with the rest of the story. Like I said, the art was fun. Story was simple enough to follow. And I'm not up on Star Wars, timeline and some of that very well. Where, like my son, he could tell me, "Oh, that happened before the Clone Wars, or that happened here." There's no way they could do that. That didn't happen until later on. I'm like, dude, I have no freaking clue. I just watched Star Wars. I know how New Hope goes into that one. I know how that goes, but I couldn't tell you any of the stuff outside of the movies where it fits in to that movie storyline. But it's
just get with me if you need to know.
I'll get with you if I need to. It's a soft stash for me. I'll do a soft stash with Mike. Mike and I will both do a little soft stashing together.
I'm gonna do a soft stash when I get that lap dance.
No. You know what? You probably slip a Viagra just to do that. Joe's having a sneezing fit over there.
A little bit. Did you hear it? I thought I muted it. I'm sorry.
No, we still saw you.
Oh,
we knew what that was.
Yeah, my facial expressions.
Yeah. Either that or you're having the soft stash of your own. I wasn't sure. See, there he goes again. Like, do you ever hear that joke about the guy that every time he sneezes, he ejaculates, and he's doing it on a plane? I'm telling a joke now on our comic book show.
That's something me and my friends don't sit around and talk about. No, you got me on that one.
Every time he sneezes, he has to. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there anymore. Let's talk about year 0.
No, the joke.
No. I'm done. I'm not even going to go there. Let's talk about year 0. Joe, why don't you bring us into year 0?
I like this, and I mentioned this on my own show. I've said it. Normally I'm not a huge zombie story guy. Zombie stories somewhat bore me. Even the movies, I get somewhat bored with them. Maybe because I overthink them, whatever the case may be. But I did like this, and I liked, Unkillables. But I really liked this. And I think it's mostly because of intrigue. We get introduced to our main characters in this. 5 survivors. We get something that's kind of connecting us to the past, both ancient history and Da Vinci's time frame. We're kind of showing that there's a progression, that this is something that has been around for a while, this particular virus that creates these zombies. Our characters are actually kind of interesting in this, and they're all over the world, so everybody's included, which is fine, because they're all legit. They're all stuck in this scenario. We got badasses, caring people, heroes. We got a little bit of everything going on in this, even a nerdy
assassin.
Yeah, right? I like this. This is smart writing, and I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've blasted anything from this Upshot stuff yet. This stuff the art's good in it. It makes sense. It's clean. I liked how they didn't just right out tell us there's a zombie outbreak. They didn't focus on that and give us a lot of narration on it. They kind of just told their story, let the dialogue tell the story, and they just rolled that way. And that's really smart writing, because you walked away with this, even though you know what's going on in the background, you still want more of this story, and it left you on a great cliffhanger. So yeah, I want some more of this. Definitely, if you haven't checked this out, you go and get yourself some year 1. Or year 0. Sorry, year 0.
What about you, Mike? What do you think of year 0?
I love zombies. Go fuck yourself. So this one opens up. It's in Antarctica or something, and they find Captain America in his ice cube, in his block of ice. And
remember, they found Huey a squatch and a block of ice.
No, they find a zombie. They're doing experiments with ice, and they find a zombie in a block of ice. Then it just ends, and then you're introduced to all the characters that Joey was talking about during this apocalypse. An assassin, a little kid in Mexico, whatever. But the ending of this book. Do we want to spoil it?
Spoil it.
Yeah, this is a review show, so spoilers ahead.
What we do?
Spoilers. We're taking a look at Da Vinci's how do you say it? Vitruvian Man. Is that how you say it? Sure. You guys all seen the artwork of the guy.
Da Vinci's sketch of a man. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it turns out there are lost pages to that. And basically each sketch shows the progression of zombieism, and that just blew my mind right there, and it makes me want to read more. So this is a definite stash. I don't even care about the characters. No, I'm just kidding. Issue number 2. When's issue 2 come out? Let's do this shit.
Yeah, Upshot has been pretty good. It kind of reminds me a lot of Alterna, because when they put the books out, they got 5 issues and it's done. It's just miniseries, anything ongoing. So that makes it very consumable. That means you're not committing a whole lot of time to it. You got your 5 issues, you can be done with it and move on. So I'm really enjoying this. What I do like what they did, because they had the 5 different characters and it's bouncing back and forth between the characters. I like some of the transitions they do between them, and I'll give an example here of this one here of the military guy in the Middle East with the women down in the basement, and then we got the chubby guy that has the basement full of is a
Doomsday Prepper guy.
Doomsday Prepper, yeah. So it shows the military guy at the bottom of the stairs after he got shot or attacked or whatever it is, and then the next panel is moving over to the next character. He's coming up a set of stairs. I like how they do that transition, almost like a movie. It's like, okay, it's like the same kind of thing moving forward. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this a little bit more. There's no zombies in here at all. Like you said, we know what's going on in the background, but it definitely is intriguing to me, and I definitely want to pick up more. And this is probably one I will pick up all 5 issues on for sure. So this is a definite stash for me. I picked up both covers. I got that's cover A, and I picked up cover B too. That reminds me a lot of Walking Dead. If you look at that cover, it just kind of I was going to do that.
I think this is going to take over the Walking Dead series. Everybody's been wanting a good zombie book. I think this will. I think this will do it.
So this cover, like I said, very Walking Dead-esque, I think, on that cover, and so that's why I think I like that one too. So that's definitely a stash for me, and I'm hoping to read more into that and kind of get more zombies in the mix of that story, or could be more of a tale on how these people interact, because they got 5 different total backgrounds, So that if you watch Walking Dead, it's kind of about the interaction between the people and how society moves forward. Yeah. Not necessarily about zombies, but zombies just a thorn in their side they have to deal with, but it does have to deal with that. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's it. That's all the books we've got this week. Anything else? We went over the books and stuff we're reading. Outside of that, we went over our TVs and movies and stuff we're doing. We went over the comics this week, and I think that's it. We're going to move forward.
Talk the future now. I have
future.
So my good friends that wrote the comic book Delta Dogs. If you haven't read Delta Dogs, you should really check it out. It's a great comic book. Takes place here in Virginia. Several superheroes, super cool guys that kind of run that. They're starting their season 2, and they need your help. If you haven't read it, I'll put a link in the chat right now for where you can go check it out. You can also purchase the first season of it. Definitely, it's a great story. I really don't want to spoil it. Every time, if you've seen any of my videos, I always interview them here in Virginia. It's a great story. They're local creators, and they tell a good story. That's pretty awesome. Definitely check it out. Also, I currently have my online auction going on. I think, I don't think I know. Mikey put a few things in there. I put a few things in there. My wife got rid of some pops because she's downscaling her collection a little bit. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. You may want to check it out. Definitely pay the price that you want to pay. Don't overpay for a comic book, but we try to keep it to where at least everything has some sort of key to it. If you want to check that out, that's also in the chat as well. Also, Baltimore Comic Con's coming up. Who's going? Who wants to go? Who wants to hang out? Let us know. As far as we know, it is still on. I called the promoter a couple of weeks ago, got some passes. So I'm ready to go. Hopefully you're going. If you're going to Baltimore Comic Con, let the Blaster Stasher crew know. Me and Mike have gone consistently at this point. We know all the cool spots. We know all the cool people. And we want to hang out with you cool cats. So definitely let us know.
Yeah. Hookers die.
That's where the hookers die. Baltimore.
Yeah, my Vegas Con got canceled or got moved to next year, so they're canceled together. So not going to be doing that. We may still be going to Vegas the end of next month. I'm not sure yet. But we got some other stuff coming up, some more independent creator spotlights coming up. We got Matt Case. We got maybe Delta Dog, trying to get them in here as well to help promote their books. A couple other people on the line to come in and talk to him about the projects that they're working on to try to get them a little more, their name out there a little bit more. Matt Case, I'm picking up some books from him, going to be shipping them out to Joe and Mike. So we each have a couple copies of those. We'll get him on there. He's actually a friend of Vince Rush as well as Mark that came on a couple weeks ago. So they're all in that same group right there. So they're pretty good guys. And then still reaching out. If you know to be any independent creators, they want to kind of promote their stuff, please feel free to let them know, hey, come on here. We'll talk about it for an hour and try to get some more people headed your way. So
I'm all about local creators. That way when people from Marvel are like, I write for Marvel, I can laugh at it and be like, this guy does a better job. Like literally.
Again, make sure you go check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And like Joe said, if you're going to Baltimore, if you're going to any con in general, let us know what cons you're going to. We kind of know what's going on. Although, I mean, everything is in limbo right now just because of all the stuff going on. Stuff's starting to open back up, but we don't know what's open and what's not. Let us know, So with that, whether you blast it, whether you stash it, happy reading, and we'll catch you guys next week. I think we're going to end the episode with 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtle again.
Do your oh yeah thing. No, do the oh yeah thing.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this is the most amazing fight scene I've ever seen. I feel so bad for anybody that isn't getting to see this amazing mutant on ninja action that I'm seeing right now.
Excuse me, is this where we sign up for Fight Club?
Casey Bones. Hey, nice stick.
You like it?
How about a game of one-on-one?
What about the 4-on-1 going on down there?
I think they can handle it themselves.